Welcome back to Escape from Mars. Today we will focus on two things, which is building on our base and preparing for our first attack. Before doing so, we will quickly have to grab some leftover materials, so we will fast forward a bit. Can we take it? Just right. That's it. We have all the stuff. So, fast forwarding a bit again. We'll drop by Mickey Scrap to get some components back and then start building our new home, which I'm really excited for. Alright, back to Mickey Scrap. So let's return some of the components. See if we can get some nice deals.
New Mickey Scrap open all the time. Look for us on other planets, or we come for you.
Or we come for you. Alright, let's turn on the music. Is this one right? It doesn't accept our input. Alright, well, it's done anyway. Nice. Just ignoring our commands. How dare they. Can we swap this out? Yeah. Let's quickly ditch some scrap and then we have some space, because this is not working as intended.
Where do you get all this scrap lander? I've never seen so much.
Alright, there we are again. And brake on. Let's clean up this weird thing, it's a bit of stone. So we will store the stuff. Big question is, do we have sufficient number of power cells? And looks like we don't. That's gonna be a bit of a problem. Though we could build like a small nuclear reactor, perhaps. Or a hydrogen engine even. For base power, it could work. That's fine, we don't worry about that for now. What we should worry about is a bit of decorating. So let's see. We will remove this for now. Anyway, we can't build it, and I think we need a bit wider of an entrance, because it would be nice if we can fit this actually inside. We have to remove those bit of boulders. So yeah, I will do a bit of decorating and try to make this a bit more homey. This is the first bit. We have this is going to be the cargo bit. So you can access from the outside, but there will be rows behind as well. And then to the right we will make a battery area. So that's the starting point. And we will continue with the floor over here. Alright, this will be the entry of the garage. So it's just working on the lower bit, the upper bit, of course not something to be proud of. That's for the future. But this is going to be the garage, so we should be able to weld this up and then park our car inside. Let's try if that works.
Energy critical.
Convoy dispatch. Delivery 22380.
There we go. Looks a bit uglier from the rover's point of view. But there we are. So now we realize And we need it to be a bit more dug out for it to fully be covered. So the doors, I guess, will be somewhere around here. So that's good to know. So more digging. Alright, let's see how well we did with the digging. If it's more or less equal. The ceiling is a bit of a mess. It's more difficult than I thought. Nobody saw that. Like I said, perfectly dug out straight. Got it. And this is what it looks like. So we have a garage, bit in cover. It's a bit messy. Don't mind that. We'll just leave the lights off. That's our main trick for all things in life. Alright, so next bit is that... Oh, we cannot see anything when walking out, of course. Next bit is that we will make like a bit of a thing that goes up, bit of a staircase, and then we want to create like a bit of an overhang of a base on the outside. So that will be the pretty part, hopefully. So in order to do so, we need to make a bit of a reference point where we want to dig to. So I don't think we need to go all the way to the top. That's a bit too much. Yeah, I think that's a bit too much. So let's try... This will be a nice point, more or less. Let's aim for this. It's like 2/3 of the way, I guess. So, new from current position. We'll go over. Should be in line with our garage. I think it's mainly about the Y position, right? So, the middle we can guess from here. Will that look cool? I think it might. I think that might look cool. Let's aim for that. Alright, back to the digging. So what we'll do is that we will use this GPS marker to create a lookout post. So we create stairs inside and go up to that bit. So what would be nice if we count the width of our base. I think we shifted one block to the right. So let's start with that. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's start at the 4th one. Makes sense. So it's right here. Then we create another GPS. We'll find out if this works in a bit. So that's downstairs. And then I think we want to start with a staircase. No, the other one. Is this the one that I mean? Yeah, I think that would be cool. We could do a ramp. Maybe I prefer a ramp. Yeah, I think that would be cooler. So that's the slope you want to use at the start, and then from there we work with plain blocks so that we don't use that many components. So that's what we want to aim for. Probably shouldn't have placed it first, but well, doesn't matter if you blow it up, it's just one construction component wasted. Okay, and then from there, I was thinking to just go steep up. Maybe we'll do one more slow increase. Nah, let's just go up. Or we could do a bit of a transition where we go first one row of blocks. I think that would be nice. Let's do that. Right, so we create a bit of a, that's the wrong block. Bit of a plateau. Like so. Nice. And then this will be the point where we will go up again, but this time a bit steeper. We're halfway there, 80 meters up and 80 down. So this is where we will create our medbay point. We don't have a battery yet, so it's completely useless to build it currently. We could do it actually in order to, well, it's not completely useless, I guess, because we could get rid of our medical components. Maybe that's a good excuse to use it. So we'll dig a little bit deeper, make use of all the space that we have in the mountain. So this is then well protected, I hope. Not that I expect this to have, that we get some assaults from angry shipments and factions, but it could actually be. I mean, you have the same thing with the Reavers, right? They get more progressively aggressive. So I guess somewhere like there. We have like a big medical room. We could even, maybe even like a bit further back. Right, and so the medbay will be then piped up. Yep, makes sense. Probably want to weld this up actually. Alright, so we can still access that. I'm happy with that. So then from here we have like a bit of a med bay. We can decorate the room a bit more. Should be nice. So maybe we'll already build that, like I said. Then we know if we can build a med bay and the amount of components that we need. So let's first try to ditch the crap that we're currently carrying. And then see if we can take the components that we need. The 60 metal grids could be a bit of a problem. We have... why are we... We had it twice in the build planner, so I think I misclicked with the conveyor, or I just did a stupid. Could also be the case. So it says it's lacking medical components. I don't think that's possible. And now metal grids, that is completely possible. It could be that we are in need of more of those. Yeah? That's good to know. Let's first build the medbay, because we're getting distracted again. Oh, actually we have everything apart from the metal grids, right? I think I know where to get them. It's at Ice Mine. I think there's still some heavy armor. But for now, let's continue with this bit. And there we go. What a view. This will be cool. I'm very happy with that. So let's try to straighten it up a bit. Nice. So, small break, and then a bit more building. Alright. This is how far we got with trying to make a bit of an outpost. This will be pretty rough time, but we're a bit conservative with resources currently. Because we don't know yet how much we need. The goal of this is to create some bit of a lookout point. So if we go up here, then you can probably see what I'm trying to do. It's to create a bit of a platform over here, so we can plan our operations. Right, so this will be the entrance, which will be 3 wide. Right, so this will be the middle. That's going to be an important little detail. And how easy is it to build it without a jetpack? I think it is doable. Some random thing rolling off the hills. Alright, and then from the center over here. We still have to build a little bit to the left, I'm afraid. But well, from the center over here we'll start placing our windows. So we'll leave one space up there. I think it will be cool to have like a little bit of a balcony. Won't mess up our view that much because we can still see from here all the important bits, I think. Yeah. So we'll grab our windows.
Convoy dispatched. Delivery X5398. ETA 75.
And I always forget whether I need the inverted window or the normal one. So let's start with the general window block. And now of course we don't have a center anymore because we use a 2x2 block. Right. Might be a bit strange. I think it shouldn't matter too much. I think it's fine. Can we now see? Alright, so this is the wrong side, so we wanted to build like this. Yeah, I think that's good. Alright, so that's dark, bright. Like so. Probably want to make the frame a bit broader so we can still walk on the outside. But those are details that we do last. And then, although we do want to frame our walls a little bit already, so we get some idea about what's going on. Guess this looks nice, perhaps. Alright, Alright, so something like that. Let's not build the last bit in case we want to walk around. Make a bit of a balcony. It looks like just a bunch of steel now, but hopefully it will be more than just that. Alright, that's one bit. The smart way of doing this is building from that way to this way, of course, which is nice, because we can't fall as much. Alright, let's check again. That's alright, so this is the transparent way, don't do that. Right? Yeah. That's not the way to do it. I think it was like so. Yeah, height of 2. Can we walk over it like so? I think we can. Alright. If we get attacked now, if it turns out that the shipments are coming this way, and they will blow up this whole construction in just like 2 stacks of bullets or something. And I think that's a good moment for you to decide what we shall call this new place. So I hope I will remember to place a poll in the comments, and we can have a bit of a voting. Very curious what that will end up, if this turns out to be a mistake. But on the other hand, I think some of you guys are way more creative than I am. So very curious what names you have in mind for our base. Alright, so that's the start. Will require a lot of glass to weld up, but I'm happy that we have a bit of a draft. And we should probably start welding up some of these soon as well. But now we have a goal on what to rate, so we want at least some bulletproof glass shipment. Auto cannon clip component ship M. Right, some girders, so this is the stuff we have to focus on, and steel plates. Cool. So I hope you can look through the ugly metal plating and see a bit what we have in mind. And yeah, unfortunately we are poor. We are still in scrap base, living off those bits. So we cannot afford to weld everything up yet. At some point, that will change. So, right, so the plan for now is to quickly get some ice and some metal, what's it called, metal grids. See if we can get the right number for this med bay, which is like 60 or something, right? Let's quickly check. Yeah, let's say 60 because we also need it for other stuff. So we have an idea where to get that. It's the ice mine where we didn't grind down all the bits yet. We'll quickly move over there. And the second reason to do that is because we're all out of ice. So that's a good reason to go there as well. So there is some ice still in this storage, so I guess it's not that important, but we'll definitely take some. Also for now we'll take some just to be sure. Like 500 should be fine. Don't need the girders for now, or a bit of scrap. At some point we should make like a tools locker, I think, because this is becoming ugly. And then I remembered that we needed some computers to build to complete some other construction over there. So let's discard, I guess. It's not powered yet, so it doesn't work if we can transfer them via 1 point. 30 explosives, that's nice. We will definitely need those. That's all the things we need. Talking about ditching, we can also get rid of the rocks. Clean up our base. Nice. Right, don't clean up too much, of course. Let's get some oxygen going. Right, so let's drive to the other place. That's a bit dangerous. Probably should remove that as well. Alright, should we switch off my lights? It will be a bit prettier with just the car lights. Yeah, there we go. If you wonder what first-person view looks like, then that's a bad moment to switch probably. But then it's quite scary. Also shows how fast we're actually driving. 150 miles an hour. No, kilometers an hour. Wrong unit. It's a lot of airtime. Probably should drive a bit more carefully. Going 150 kilometers an hour in this terrain is probably not the way to go. Alright, so this is the crash site. This is where everything started. We left the lights on. That's a bit strange. Oh well. Right, so we needed one computer to have at least one gyroscope. So now we have it. Should probably switch this off. And you as well. So this is our draft bike, in case we ever die and strand out here again. So we'll leave it for now. It will be difficult to control with just one gyroscope, I think. But yeah, it's just so that we can get home a bit faster. And apart from that, there's not really anything here. A bunch of scrap, but that's about it. But the important bit is, of course, the space credits, nice. Our medbay, because this is the only medbay we currently have built, and our only respawn point. So there's no drop pods at this bit. When you die, it's this medbay or nothing. It's a good thing that it survived with the crash. Probably want to switch off the lights. There should be some heavy armor plates in here, I think. What else contains metal grids? I thought just mainly these. So that's all heavy armor, so we might... Right? Yeah, right, so that's where we need to get some from. That's the last bit. We got ice, pockets full of ice. Let's ditch that in the rover as well as possible. Can we just... No, it's already full. Alright. I guess we have very cool pockets. Right. Let's drive back to our base. I think we're driving slightly the wrong way, because we're driving up in the hills. Doesn't really need... Oh god. Please don't crash, please don't crash. That was very scary again. Like I said, this thing is our only only functional vehicle at the moment. All of our resources are spent on this. Probably we can make another one, but I prefer to use those resources for something more fun than to clone this thing. Or a similar looking one. Alright, but that is a cool view. So we hoped that we could also work a bit on our first attack vehicle today. However, the unexpected trip to the ice mine took a bit more time than anticipated. But not to worry, we will get to work on the shipment ambush next time. I was thinking in the line of using warheads as landmines maybe, and set up some mobile turret system. So we'll work on that next time. Thank you for joining today, and I hope I see you then. Bye bye.